Hello, in this video I will be showing you some tips and tricks in the new Sybiz Vision transaction screens. Okay, the first one, lookups. So here I'm sitting on the customer lookup, but in the grid there are a variety of lookups. The same basic concepts apply to all the lookups. So I can hit the drop down and I get a list of customers. I can also be in the lookup editor and I can hit the F4 and that will also drop down for me. If I want to start typing in here, it will pre-populate with the first record in order as to what it thinks it may be. If I don't know what it is, I can hit the F4 and let's say it's actually 1001. You will see the record being selected and you can see the orders there. I can hit the enter key and it's got its value. I can right click in here and I can go and inquire on this record, and it will bring up the inquiry screen for me to have a look at some information on that customer. I may also want to go and edit that record, something that I want to physically change. Instead of having to go out of this screen, go into the customer screen, go and make the relevant change and come back. If I'm looking for a customer and I need a bit more information, maybe I know their telephone number but I'm not sure about their code or their name, I can bring up the view area and I can now access the record as so. And if I type in into a particular column 10 like I did before, I can also hit the control down arrow and it will go through all the records that start with 10 for me. Okay, again I can select the one I want, hit enter and I've got it there. If I've now selected one and I don't want that one, I can't just simply go and delete it and tab off, it stays there. But how I can get rid of it is to simply right click and go clear, and I've now cleared it out. So I will put one in there and that's the demonstration customer. Okay, so that's some of the things you can do with that. Now for starters, I'm going to leave one in there and I'm going to now go and open a document. The open document screen allows me to go and open save transactions. You can actually save transactions and process them. So if you haven't quite finished an invoice, you can save it part of the way through, come back, and you'll notice that the account field is pre-filled with one there. Don't have to go and search for that. I again can clear and go and find on all transactions. I can add a document, and when I bring add document you'll see that there are 4 outstanding orders in the system. If I come here and I clear the customer record and I do the same thing, you'll now see that I not only see the outstanding orders for customer 1, but I see them for all the others. Okay, and if I want to see what's in one of those transaction documents, I can see the quantity and the price and the description of all the items that's going to be in that order. Okay, so let's just say I go and select this order. I'll hit OK and it will pre-populate all the lines into the grid below. Once those lines are pre-populated in, instead of me going through all of them, I just want to invoice all. I can go and say invoice all items. I can say invoice and deliver all, so I do both. So I can go click that and it pre-fills out all the quantity invoice and quantity deliver values for me automatically on all the lines. Let's say this particular line though we're not going to ship, so I'm going to mark it as 0 quantity invoiced and 0 quantity delivered. And if I want to remove that line from this transaction document, I simply say remove unused ordered lines and it will remove that one, and if there was other ones it would remove those as well. Okay, I may want to actually see what the transaction document is going to look like. So I've got 2 set up here and I will go and look at standard and it will show me a preview of what the sales transaction document will look like. And in some cases you can use this to be able to send to the customer, make sure it's correct. Once it's correct, you can go and process the transaction. If I come into the sales invoice settings, you'll see I've set up two. One is a standard document and one is an advanced. And if I'm just going to go and edit one of these, and in here you have an output method. And if you look at the output method, you can have it set to print preview, email preview, or you can also set it on the customer whether you would like to email, print, etc., and it will use those relevant settings depending upon the customer chosen. Okay, so now I'm just going to go and create a new sales invoice here for a sec and show you another option. So here I'm going to go and pop in customer 1. I have another option here which is template. So I can come along and I can say I want to use a template that I've defined here, hit OK, and it adds the line. I can go and add another template, number 2, and I can also add that one. And I can add as many templates as I like. So you can define specific lists of transaction templates that you can use from a standard point of view. If I have a look at the location tab here as a location field, when I drop it down you can see everything's fairly squashed. I can resize this column as large as I like, and I can now see a lot more easier the information. Another thing, when you're doing these lookups here, so if I'm wanting to look up, I've got a number 1 here, so let's just resize this again. But I don't really use the code to go and find my locations. I use my description. So again, with these lookups, you can right click and you can go and change the lookup field, be it description, quantity. So if I make a description, my lookup is now based upon the description. I hope those tips have helped you in regards to using the transaction screens. To learn more about these tips and tricks and how to use the transaction screens, you can access the product help. So thanks for watching and thanks for choosing Sybiz.